Hey everyone, so when you think about moving to a whole new country, what's the first thing that pops into your head? I'm guessing it's stuff like packing boxes, visa paperwork, all the logistics. But there's this other journey happening at the same time, one that's way more complex and honestly often invisible. And that's the emotional journey our kids go on. That's what we're going to dive into today. This quote, wow, it just perfectly sums up the two completely different experiences happening in the same family, doesn't it? While we as parents are totally buried in the tangible, stressful stuff, our kids, they're carrying this heavy, invisible backpack, just full of fears and worries they might not even know how to talk about. And this is where we can see that huge disconnect. Look at the left side. That's the parents' world, right? Visas, jobs, finding a good school. We're building the architecture of a new life. But then look at the right side. That's the child's inner world. It's about identity, belonging, the heartbreak of leaving friends behind. This is their emotional foundation. And if these two worlds aren't connecting, it's so easy to miss that our child might be struggling. Here's something that's really key to understand. Just because a child is smart or does well in school doesn't mean they'll have an easy time emotionally. This kind of move tests their emotional muscles, not their IQ. But here's the good news. Resilience isn't some fixed trait. It's not like they either have it or they don't. It's absolutely something we can help them build, intentionally.
So how do these hidden struggles actually, show up? A lot of the time, the signs are really subtle, especially when, on the surface, everything seems totally fine. This is what we call the parent's blind spot. Let's make this real by looking at the story of a boy named Aditya.
So this is Aditya. At school, his teachers said he was a model student, no problems at all. But at home, his parents started noticing a change. And it wasn't about his grades. It was about this kid who was just quietly drowning in a huge emotional storm. It turned out he was dealing with something psychologists call identity confusion, this really deep feeling of not knowing who he was anymore or how he was supposed to fit into this brand new world. Aditya's experience is super important, but it's really just one side of the coin. This emotional struggle can look totally different depending on a child's personality. So now we're going to look at two pretty common profiles, the achiever and the adapter. Okay, let's break these two down. First, you've got the disciplined achiever. This is the kid who just thrives on structure, rules, and clear expectations. Their strength is absolutely their discipline, but the hidden risk? They tend to internalize all their stress, just bottle it up. Then you have the confident adapter. This kid is often outgoing, seems to make friends on day one. Their strength is adaptability, for sure. But the hidden danger here is emotional fatigue and this feeling of being rootless because they never really stay put. So what kind of stuff triggers anxiety for the disciplined achiever? Well, you might be surprised. It's often the very environment of a lot of modern classrooms. Things we think are great, like open discussions or teachers asking for a personal opinion. That can feel terrifying for a child whose whole sense of security is built on knowing the right answer. That fear of being wrong or looking stupid can be absolutely paralyzing. And what about the confident adapter? The risk for them is a lot more subtle. They get so good at fitting in that they start to live with this temporary life mindset. They learn to build emotional walls to protect themselves. I mean, it makes sense, right? Why should I get close to someone if I know I'm just going to leave again? This can lead to this really deep loneliness, even if they look like the most popular kid in the room. But here's the thing. Whether they're an achiever or an adapter, underneath all of that, both of these kids are wrestling with the exact same huge, unspoken question. This is it. Who am I here? This one question is at the absolute heart of all their anxiety. Because when you move a child to a new country, you're not just changing their address, you are fundamentally shaking up how they see themselves in the world. For the disciplined achiever, this question is just devastating. Their entire identity, their sense of self, was built on a foundation of good grades, being top of the class, and getting that nod of approval from a teacher. When they move into a new system where those things are measured differently, or maybe not valued as much, their entire sense of self-worth can just crumble. They're left asking, am I still good enough? Now, the adapter faces a different, but just as tough crisis. The idea of being a global citizen, it sounds amazing, right? But in reality, it can feel like you belong everywhere and nowhere, all at the same time. They might have a passport full of cool stamps, but they're left wondering, okay, but where do I truly belong? Where are my roots? So how on earth do we help our kids with these huge, profound challenges? This is where we shift gears. We've understood the problem. Now let's talk about building the solution. And as a parent, you have so much more influence than you probably think. Let's get into the tools you can use to build up your child's emotional strength. And this is maybe the most important takeaway of all. The solution isn't out there. It's not about finding the perfect school or signing them up for the right activities. The most powerful anchor you can give your child during this crazy, turbulent time is at home. The solution is you. So, what does this actually look like day to day? Here are 4 emotional anchors you can create. First, make your home a safe zone where any and all feelings are welcome. The good, the bad, the ugly. Second, when your child tells you they're struggling, validate them. Don't dismiss it. Just saying, I hear you and that sounds really tough is way more powerful than, oh, don't worry. Third, hang on to your family rituals. Simple things like movie night or Sunday pancakes create stability when everything else feels new and scary. And finally, model emotional honesty. Let them see that you find change hard sometimes too. At the end of the day, it all really boils down to this. In the middle of this massive, life-altering change, what your child needs most isn't a flawless school or a perfectly smooth transition. They just need you. To be emotionally present, to be available. That is the foundation they will use to build their resilience, to find their identity, and to truly, truly thrive in their new home.